Beneath the icy skin of the Arctic Ocean, something stirs. It doesn't echo. It doesn't leave a trail. It moves in absolute silence, cloaked in the pressure of the deep, far beneath where satellites watch and sonars listen. It is not a ship. It is not a drone. It is not a myth. It is a machine designed to vanish. And when it reappears, it may already be too late. The world knows it by a single name: Belgorod. A submarine like no other. Massive, mysterious, and monstrous in purpose. But Belgorod isn't dangerous because of its size or speed. It's dangerous because of what it carries. Poseidon, a nuclear-powered autonomous torpedo designed to travel for thousands of kilometers underwater unnoticed before triggering a radioactive tsunami that could erase entire cities from the map and leave coastlines glowing for decades. While global headlines fixate on the land war in Ukraine, the burning cities, the artillery duels, the proxy games, something far more terrifying is unfolding below the surface. And the question that no one can truly answer is this: what happens if Poseidon is not a threat, but a plan? The K-329 Belgorod was never meant to be a normal submarine. Its very construction is shrouded in half-truths and classified orders. Originally laid down in the early 1990s, the project was abandoned after the Soviet collapse. For years, the incomplete hull rusted in silence, a forgotten relic. But then, in the early 2010s, something changed. Russia restarted the build, but this time, they weren't just finishing a submarine. They were building a platform for the future of underwater warfare. At nearly 605 feet long, longer than the Titanic, Belgorod is the longest submarine on Earth, but it's not designed for traditional combat. There are no ballistic missile silos. It doesn't hunt surface fleets. Belgorod's job is more experimental. Modified to carry deep-sea drones, sensor arrays, and most notably, the Poseidon nuclear delivery system, Belgorod was built for stealth beneath the stealth, operating at depths where no Western submarine dares to stay long. Its primary allegiance isn't to Russia's conventional navy, but to GUGY, the secretive main directorate of deep-sea research, a shadow branch within the Russian military that answers directly to the highest levels of the Kremlin. The exact number of Poseidon torpedoes it carries remains classified, but estimates range from 2 to 6, each one capable of operating independently for thousands of miles underwater without surfacing. And once Belgorod slips beneath the polar ice caps, it vanishes from the modern battlefield. No satellite can see it, no sonar can track it, no fleet can intercept it. It is, in every sense of the word, a ghost. Poseidon is not a torpedo in the traditional sense. It is an unmanned underwater vehicle powered by a miniature nuclear reactor. The concept was once dismissed by Western analysts as science fiction. But that was before Russia confirmed its development in 2018, and again in 2020. Unlike intercontinental ballistic missiles, Poseidon doesn't arc into the sky where early warning radars can catch it. It doesn't blaze through the atmosphere with a telltale heat signature. Instead, it creeps, slowly, quietly, at depths exceeding 1,000 meters, below most sonar arrays, below detection thresholds, and below the line of hope. Poseidon is designed for strategic horror. Its yield, estimated between 2 and 100 megatons, flexible, adjustable. In theory, it could detonate off the coast of a major city and generate a tsunami dozens of meters high. The wave would sweep inland, destroying infrastructure, populations, and flooding nuclear facilities with irradiated seawater. This isn't just destruction, it's contamination, psychological terror, a long-term denial of territory, leaving ghost towns behind, glowing under the weight of fallout and silence. Poseidon doesn't need a launch window. It doesn't rely on satellite comms. It can navigate the seabed using pre-programmed maps, and perhaps most disturbingly, it can be deployed during peacetime. And just sit there, waiting for activation. Western defense systems, from Aegis to Iron Dome to THAAD, are built to intercept missiles, not underwater drones traveling beneath the Atlantic shelf. And if Poseidon is launched, you don't know until the wave hits. When Belgorod finally entered active service in July 2022, NATO forces quietly activated every underwater sensor they had. Surveillance buoys across the North Atlantic were recalibrated. Sub-hunting aircraft began flying erratic new patterns. SOSUS, the Cold War-era sound surveillance system, was rebooted in critical areas. But nothing changed the truth. They still don't know where Belgorod is most of the time. Western navies have formidable capabilities in open waters. But under the Arctic, in the trench zones of the North Atlantic, the technological advantage narrows. Russian submarines have long used that region as a shield, and Belgorod was designed to live there. Reports have surfaced, unconfirmed but alarming, of Poseidon trials in the Barents Sea and possible presence near the Black Sea, dangerously close to the Ukrainian front. Russian media, often used as a soft power tool for signaling intent, has teased Poseidon more than once. Not as an active threat, but as a warning. One that says, if NATO ever sends boots on the ground in Ukraine, Russia might not respond conventionally. This is the new doctrine, asymmetric deterrence, strategic ambiguity, and it's working. Because no Western admiral wants to gamble with Poseidon's silence. No coastal city wants to be the test case. The war in Ukraine is being fought with artillery and tanks. But the deeper war, the shadow war, is playing out in cold oceans, far below. It is a war of sonar pings, of classified briefings, of things that move without being seen. In the old world, apocalypse came from the sky, missiles arching overhead, alarms screaming through cities, sirens giving you just enough time to say goodbye. But today, it may come from below. No blast, no flash, no warning, just water. And silence, and then nothing. The Belgorod remains out there, on patrol, armed with something that doesn't need permission to kill. And somewhere in its dark belly, the Poseidon torpedoes wait. Wait for orders, wait for a misstep, wait for the next chapter in a war the world is already losing track of. And as the ocean swallows its secrets, one question drifts to the surface. What if this isn't a bluff? What if Poseidon isn't a tool of last resort, but a message? And what if we won't know it's been sent until the coastlines are already gone?